Let's go, everybody. It's Michigan Ohio State Saturday, and we are here live watching Big Noon Kickoff. I got my dog Max in my basement. I'm ready to rock, baby. All right, so let's get it going. Let's go, Blue. Obviously, Michigan Ohio State today. We'll get into that. We're going to save that one to last. These are the picks for this week. This is the board brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook and Bengay. So I'm your host, Young Bob Anderson. The first game that we're going to do is South Carolina at Clemson. Clemson minus 2.5. The over-under is 49. I like South Carolina to win outright. My boy Jim's there right now. Go Gamecocks. They're obviously, in the streets of Clemson right now with the sign that says "You suck, Cox." So let's go South Carolina and Jim. Hope we have a good day down there in South Carolina, bud. Next game, Rutgers travels to East Lansing, where Michigan State's trying to become bowl eligible. The line is -2, over-under is 47.5. I'm going to take the Spartans at home. I think it's going to be a tight game, but only laying 2. I think they win at least by a field goal and become bowl eligible and go to that Detroit Bowl that I know Michigan fans want to go to. My brother. Anyway, Notre Dame travels to USC. Notre Dame -7.5. USC at home, over-under is 52. USC obviously is not that good. USC is Notre Dame's going to run the football. I'm taking the Irish all day in this one. I'm very confident in that. I don't see USC putting up much of a fight. Moving on to the next one, Auburn at Alabama. Alabama laying 11.5. Over-under is 52. It's the Iron Bowl. People down south, I've been to Alabama a few times. It is always Crimson Tide down there, no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what month of the year it is. It's always about that Tide. And they're at home coming off a bad loss last week. I think that they're going to bounce back, but I don't think they're going to cover. Give me War Eagle getting 11 and a hook. And Texas travels to Texas A&M. They haven't played since, I think, 2011. These kids were like in first grade last time they played, but they swear they know about the rivalry. Whatever, I digress. But Texas -5.5, over-under 48.5. This one's for the berth into the SEC championship game to play Georgia next week. Texas obviously is probably a lock for the playoff, but A&M needs this win and to win next week probably to get into the playoff, I would guess anyway. I like Texas. They basically have not played anybody all year. When you look back at their schedule, they've played only one team with a winning record, I believe. Jeff threw out the other day. I think that might be right, and it might just be Michigan. So, yeah, Texas hasn't really played anybody. But get nothing mistaken, like Texas is good. They're going to take care of business tonight. Give me them. I think they cover the 5.5. I can't wait to watch that one on ABC. And then obviously it takes us to Columbus for the game. Michigan coming off 3 straight wins, going into Columbus as 20.5-point underdogs in this matchup here. Ohio State, Ryan Day, been criticized with play calling, talking about how he's going to hang 100 on Michigan. He might have been a couple years too early with that statement, as today there could be some points scored, but we'll have to wait and see. This is going to be a tough matchup, I think, for both teams in the first half. I think Michigan's going to hang. I think they're going to come out. Some of those butterflies, all the pressures on Ohio State. I think they're going to struggle in the first half, and I think it only is just can Michigan avoid that huge bomb to Jeremiah Smith, or just a big play in general in the second half, and they're probably down a score already. Can they withstand that blow, or can they avoid that altogether? I don't think they can to enough to win this game, unfortunately. But I will take Michigan. I will take Michigan getting 20 and a half. The over under is 43. I'm probably going to say over just because I think Ohio State potentially can get to like 35 in this one. So yeah, I think Michigan will get to 10 at least. Anyway, that wraps it up for college. We're going to move into the NFL picks for the day. Let's go, baby. All right, so here we go. We already had the Bears at the Lions. The line was -10. Over under is 48 and a half. I took the under. I got the dub. Lions need to get healthy before next week against the Pack on Thursday Night Football. I took the under. I got the win there. Dolphins, Thanksgiving night, traveled to Green Bay, where the over-under was 47, but the Pack was laying 3 and a hook. I took the Pack. I got that dub. Now let's go into Sunday. We got the Cardinals traveling to Minnesota. Minnesota's right there with Detroit in the north, best division in football. Cardinals trying to stay afloat, and on top of that, NFC West. Can they get a big win on the road against a Minnesota team that has to get a win to stay with Detroit, knowing that they already have the tiebreaker, or they don't have the tiebreaker, rather, so they need to stay with Detroit. They can't afford to lose this game at home. I'm going with the Vikings laying 3.5. I'm not sold on Arizona just yet. They've looked decent in the start of the year, but now we're getting to the second half where teams kind of who are frauds get figured out and the real teams rise up. I've had faith in the North all year. I'm not going to change now. Give me the Vikings laying 3.5. Going to the next game, big AFC North matchup. The Steelers are traveling to Cincinnati, where the Bengals are laying a field goal, and the over is 47. The Steelers is kind of like the opposite, or the same thing with what I was saying about the Cardinals. They looked really good. They got that good defense. Wilson came in, got off to a good start. Then Russ came in. He was able to pick that up and even ascend to that next level. But here's the thing. We're talking about Joe Burrow. We're talking about them Cincinnati Bengals, who I still think are potentially one of the best teams in the AFC. Joe Burrow coming off that injury last year affected his elbow and his wrist. Moving into this year, there were doubts that he could throw the football that well to start the season. That might have been true. But let me tell you something about Joe Burrow. He has been lighting it up since like week 5 or week 6, and he's been tearing it up for me in fantasy in my one league, my 10-game winning streak. Big part of that was because Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have been lighting it up. Give me the Bengals at home in a big divisional matchup. The Bengals, I don't know if they're completely eliminated yet, but if there's a team that can go on a run to make the playoffs in this type of situation, it is Joe Burrow and those Cincinnati Bengals. I think they do get the W, and I'm going to lay the field goal. Next game, we go Jim Harbaugh and them Chargers coming off a loss to Baltimore last week. Travel to Atlanta where the over-under is 49, and the Chargers are laying 2. I'm going to take the Falcons at home here. Chargers, they've looked good. I expect them to rescind a little bit. Harbaugh, nice story. Good physical football team with a nice defense. But here's the problem, though. Have we seen enough from the offense just yet to think that they're going to be able to go on the road to a divisional first top of the AFC South and be favored in a matchup? I don't know about that. Give me the Falcons getting 2 points at home, and again, they have to have. I mean, there's other teams in the NFC South like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield and how he's going. You got to be able to get this win at home, and I think Atlanta does that. So give me the Falcons getting 2 points. Next game, we're going to go Rams -2.5, travel to New Orleans. The over is 49. I was thinking about the over in this one, and then I just thought, the Saints are so unpredictable. They can put up a lot of points, but they can also give you a dud. I know what I'm getting with the Rams. I think 20 points at least, but I don't know what the Saints are going to do. I do like the Rams with Matthew Stafford. I still am hoping that the Rams come out of the NFC West, which is up for grabs right now. I think the Niners are in last place at 5-7. And then you got two teams at 6-5, and I think you got the Rams at 5-6. I'll have to double check. The point is, the Rams are right there. Saints, I'm not sold on. I know Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I picked him up in fantasy. Can he continuously be that guy that can get that deep bomb to get them points? I don't know. He's gotten 3 touchdowns like that the last 2 weeks without Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave on the outside. Is that going to be a reliable thing that you can go to when times get tough? We'll have to wait and see. But I know what I'm doing with the Rams. I'm going to lay the 2.5 on the road. Eagles, big game, travel to Baltimore. This is a massive game. Can't wait to watch this game. The Ravens are giving up 3, and the over is 50.5. Again, I thought about the over, but what do both these teams really want to do? They both want to run the football. They could move that clock. So I was thinking then under. What I do think I'm going to do is I'm going to do the under, but also give me the Eagles getting 3. They look awfully good right now. They're rounding out in playoff form at the right time. They're going to make their push. They need this to stay with the Lions. Give me the Eagles getting 3 points at Baltimore in that hell of a game that I can't wait to watch. Last game on the slate, boys. 49ers travel to Bills Mafia, where the Bills are laying a touchdown. Over-under is 44.5. Niners aren't healthy. I don't know what's going on in the locker room. They look dysfunctional. Their defensive line is completely different than the people that they rolled out there week 1. Yeah, I'm going to Bills. I think Josh Allen's going to have a big day running the football, throwing the football. San Francisco's going to get down. Who are they going to throw to? I have Deebo Samuel in fantasy. It ain't going to be him from what I've been seeing, unfortunately. And you still don't have Brandon Ayuk. George Kittle's a great compliment to Brock Purdy, and obviously you have CMC. But if you're trying to hang with the Bills in that offense, you're going to need something that you can get points fast. And I just don't think they're going to have that. Give me the Bills -7 in a big game where I think that's going to make the Bills pretty much they're going to be good to go in that AFC East. Yeah, there's not really anybody there that I think is going to be able to catch them. So that's a massive game. That is going to wrap it up for the picks this week. We're going to be right back after our break. We're going to talk fantasy.